Hi guys, so I've got another PSP video for you here, and today I'm looking at Dariusburst, which came out on the PSP in 2009. So what's quite interesting about this game is it kind of kicked off a kind of sub-series within the kind of wider Darius series of these Dariusburst games. And this game started on the PSP and then subsequently became an arcade game. There was a mobile game as well, I think, and also a Vita and PS4 game. I think ultimately the arcade game was kind of remastered for the Switch. So it's seen a number of sort of whether they're sort of full sequels or kind of reimaginings of the game. And this game probably is the best shmup on the PSP. I mean, the Darius games, certainly in the arcade, are known for their kind of ultra wide screens, and so this horizontal shmup kind of takes advantage of the kind of widescreen of the PSP, and then in the arcade game, translates to a widescreen as well. Given that in sort of 2010 or 11, I can't remember, I don't know exactly when the arcade game came out. Well beyond the 4.3 CRTs in the arcade. And so playing this game, it's really pretty nice. It's quite fast. It's smooth. Reasonable number of enemies that come at a decent pace. Being a kind of home game rather than primarily an arcade game that's then been ported to the home, it's not easy, but it doesn't start off brutally difficult like some arcade games. So the main shot you see here, you can basically set both the missile and the shot to the same button, which is quite nice, and auto fire is built in. And then the kind of the thing about Dariusburst, you see here this kind of burst shot. So you build up this weapon in the bottom left. You can see that bar fills up. I think it fills up as you kill things. And then you can launch this more powerful attack at the enemies, and that's kind of the main, I guess, different dynamic of this game versus some other shmups. The other thing is that this is a Darius game, and so everything is this kind of weird fish theme. It's kind of futuristic robot fishes that you're shooting. You'll see the kind of loading between screens there. That's a little bit slow because the SD card that I've got in my PSP is not a great one. It's probably something I want to resolve, because the loading should be fast, and a better quality card will sort that out. But yeah, I've been playing this sort of a fair amount in the last few weeks, I guess, along with various things on my PSP. I mean, I've been really enjoying kind of owning the actual hardware. I've kind of seen the PSP before and played a bit on emulator, but playing on real hardware and hooking it up to my CRT as well that I'm playing on here, and then capturing the footage. I don't know what it is. It just sort of gives me extra impetus to play it. You see that the difficulty is kind of creeping up a bit now. We've got this mid-level boss. We'll take him out with the burst shot. And the other thing is that I guess a lot of the shmups I generally play are on older systems, and generally I'm used to sprite-based games, and this is quite nice, it being a 2D game but using polygonal graphics. And I don't think they've done a bad job there. It still has that kind of classic arcade feel, and I think the graphics look nice rather than just using polygons for the sake of it, which some of the early shmups around things like the PS1 era, they kind of did a bit of that. There's some that are polygonal but probably look worse than the equivalent sprite-based games of the same era. So you see we've got the second boss here. The first one we had was a normal fish. Now we've got this kind of mollusk type enemy now. So yeah, he sort of fires a few lasers at us. Interestingly, that some of the bullets you can shoot. I don't know if that's something which is common to the Darius series. It's not the Darius, as I said, the Darius series isn't one I've spent a huge amount of time with. It's probably one I should play. I hear that there's a quite a nice Mega Drive or I don't know if it's a port or like a new version of the original arcade game that's been ported to the Mega Drive that came out with the Mega Drive Mini, and that ROM is kind of available now, because the original arcade game spanned across 3 monitors, so kind of emulating that, recreating it is not ideal, I would say, unless you've got some sort of similar setup, or maybe with these sort of ultra wide monitors these days, that would kind of work. But it's not one I've spent much time with. Actually, the one Darius game I have played a bit of is Darius 2. I had the Saturn version. I picked it up, I don't know, about a year ago. And the interesting thing about that game is that game came out on the Saturn, it came out on the Mega Drive, and it came out on the Master System. So you've got, not sure. These things came from behind, killed me. So yeah, that's probably the game the Darius game that I spent the most time with. But from what I remember, that game is really hard, and I didn't get very far. And also, I played a lot more shmups since spending time with that game too. So I'd probably do a bit better now than I did then. We'll see how far we get. This is kind of about as far as I've got in this game previously, level 3. This enemy is quite nice. This kind of snake that spins around you reminds me of some of the snakes in R-Type. In, what is it, the 2nd level of R-Type? But in this case, yeah, the snake adjusts to your position rather than being having a kind of fixed trajectory like in R-Type. The other thing I thought I'd comment on is the D-pad on the PSP, and it's pretty nice. I quite like it. I probably prefer it to the D-pad on a original PlayStation 1 controller, or the PS2 or PS3. They've all pretty much got the same D-pad. It's quite raised, and it moves quite a bit when you change direction. So although it still has that kind of the same shape where the D-pad is kind of underneath the plastic of the case, the fact the buttons are quite raised, it gives them quite a decent range of travel. Because the sort of D-pad I like is one from like the Mega Drive or the Saturn, where you have those kind of raised discs that really move quite nicely and kind of roll as you move them. So the PSP D-pad is pretty decent. I quite like it. So you're getting these larger, more powerful enemies. I think that was a bit of slowdown there. Oh, we've gone black and white. Let's see if we can get the colours back. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Sometimes when I'm playing on my CRT, the game just goes black and white for some reason, and you saw it went in the capture as well. So not sure. Oh, I got killed. Not sure exactly what that is, but we're probably not going to last much longer anyway. This is about as far as I've got. This third boss is much more difficult than the previous ones. Let's give it a continue and just see if we can take it out. but I wouldn't be surprised if we die again. Oh, we've gone black and white again as well. It's kind of telling me, isn't it, that I need to wrap this video up. Anyway, I think I will wrap things up there, because you've seen quite a bit of Dariusburst now. So yeah, this is Dariusburst. I really like it. I've really been enjoying playing the game, and I think for a handheld game, it's pretty incredible. If you got access to one of the later ones, yeah, definitely check those out, or the arcade game. I'm not sure what hardware that was running on. It may or may not be easy to emulate. But the PSP emulates pretty well, so anyone interested in giving this a shot, I'd really recommend it. So yeah, this was another little PSP look at. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll probably be back with some more PSP games soon. So yeah, see you soon. Bye.